A taste of goodness. Okay guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Vanilla Cooks, and today I'll be sharing the recipe for this delicious moist oven grilled tilapia. Now this is a Ghanaian favorite, y'all. We literally queue at our favorite spots every other evening just to get some grilled tilapia, so it's good. Okay, yes, so if this sounds like something you're interested in, please do the needful so we can get to it. Have you done it? Good. Let's get right to it, y'all. So for our marinade today, we'll be using some ginger, habanero, garlic, some salt, shallot, onion, spring onions, and one bell pepper. I also have in here some shrimp powder and paprika powder. I'll leave everything down in the description box below, so check it out. For our spices today, we'll be using some cumin seeds, all peppers, coriander, rosemary, Maggie cubes, some dry thyme, and some anise seeds. Okay, yeah, you can use any other spice of your choice. Okay, so now we start off by cutting up all of our vegetables to start our marinade. So i.e. our spring onions, ginger, shallots, onion, and our green bell pepper. We're going to cut them into reasonable sizes for our next step. Now for the next step, I already have some hot oil going. You can use any oil of preference. You can use olive oil, coconut oil, sunflower oil, regular vegetable oil. It is all fine. Okay, so what we are going to do is roast all of our vegetables in the oil. Now this increases the flavor, y'all. Trust, I promise you, once you try this recipe, you would not go back. Okay, so we'll leave that on for just about 5 to 8 minutes, or until it is neatly caramelized, and then we'll turn down the heat, allow it to cool, and then transfer it into our blender. Moving right along, our fish has already been cleaned, so what I'm going to do now is score them so the marinade can get into the fish. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 incisions just like so on my fish. You can make any number you want, but don't make it too deep or too shallow. Just, just right. Okay, so I'll repeat the same process on the other side and on the other fish, just so the marinade can get in there. So once that is done, I'm going to tap dry my fish, because oil and moisture do not really go well together. So I'm going to clean off the excess water or moisture, so that when I finally add my marinade, which I'm using vegetable oil for, it would be able to soak up all of the goodness and all the juices. So the vegetables have cooled down now, and now I'm just adding the oil I used to roast my vegetables. To that, I'll add my shrimp powder and paprika powder. I'll add all of my spices and my all-purpose seasoning, my salt, and give that a quick blend. This is what we are left with now, guys. So as usual, set some aside so you can use it for later use and it does not go to waste. This is very good for soups and stews, because it's a spice blend, a very flavorful one at that. Okay, so to marinate the fish now, I'm just going to add what is left in the blender and add what I set aside bit by bit. Make sure it gets in there, it gets to every part of the fish, because this is the most crucial part of this whole process. Okay, ensure that your salt content is good enough for you. Okay, if the salt is not really much, you're still not going to be able to taste that kind of grilled tilapia taste you want. So make sure the salt is enough to your taste. Okay, and then make sure your marinade gets everywhere. It is very, very important. Make sure it gets to every part of the fish, because you need every part of the fish to be flavorful and tasty. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and do some cleaning, because clearly we need to. So I'm just going to cover up with some plastic film, make sure it's airtight, and leave that to marinate for just about 2 to 3 hours. Fish doesn't really take a long time to marinate. Just increase your salt content and you'll be fine. So while we have a marinade going, I'm going to go ahead and prep some vegetables. In my case, I'm using some onion, green bell pepper, scotch bonnet pepper, tomato, and carrot. Now you can use any other vegetable of choice or preference. Is completely up to you, and it will work just fine. Okay, so you can chop, slice, dice, whichever form, shape, or size you want it to be. it will work just perfectly. Okay, so just, you know, do whatever you want to do or have to do, and let's move on to the next step. Okay, so this is what my vegetables look like, guys. Delish, right? I know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spread that onto my baking pan that I already filmed or covered with baking foil. Yes, so I'm going to spread that out evenly. The reason why I'm adding my vegetables here is that when I finally add my fish, you know, all the liquids and juices from my fish goes directly into my vegetables. And now just go ahead and lay my rack on top of the vegetables and then grease it. Don't forget to grease it because it makes, you know, turning the fish easier and it doesn't tear your fish apart. Alrighty, so it's been about 3 hours and this is our fish right now. It is ready to be popped in the oven. This is what it looks like, guys. Yes. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put it over our rack, and yeah, pretty much ready to go in the oven. So with the remainder of our marinade, we're just going to go ahead and put it back onto the fish that's on the rack and pop it right into the oven at a 350-degree Fahrenheit for just about 10-15 minutes. Okay, just because we don't want our fish to be completely dried out. Okay, we want it to be nice and caramelized, just like so. Look at that, just look at it, and it smells so good. So what we're going to do now is carefully turn it over with our kitchen tongs and a spoon or anything you can use to easily turn over. You can even use your hands. Okay, just make sure you wet it before you turn it over. And look at how juicy it is at this point. You see, it's not dried out because we do not want that. We want to maintain some moisture because that is what grilled tilapia is all about. Okay, nobody wants dried grilled tilapia, do you? I know I don't. So yeah, so carefully turn it over because your fish is very tender and delicate at this point. So now that we have successfully turned it over without breaking it, we are going to baste the other side. That is, we are going to apply some of the marinade to the other side, pop it back into the oven, but this time just for about 5 minutes because it's already cooked, but we want some nice caramelization to it. And just like that, food is ready for enjoyment. It is nice, it is caramelized, and it is moist, y'all. 2 the most flavorful vegetables you can ever have. Oh my goodness, this tastes incredible. Try it. Okay, it is still crunchy, it is nice, it is flavorful. Now to my favorite part of the process, serving time, because it means I am ready to dig in. We enjoyed this with some banku and it was absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. I do hope you enjoyed the cooking because I sure did enjoy the cooking myself. Until I see you next time, bye.